So welcome back to the continuation of our tutorial series on deploying a machine learning model on Kubernetes. Today we are going to take a quick look at Podman. So it's a tool that's becoming more popular in the container ecosystem. So whether you are familiar with Docker or not, Podman offers a simpler functionality but with some important advantages. So let's dive in. Podman is an open source container management tool that allows you to create, manage and run containers on your system. So much like Docker. So the key difference is Podman is daemonless. So this means it doesn't require a central server or daemon process running in the background like Docker does. So which makes it more secure and lightweight. So why we need Podman? You can run container without needing root access. So this means it is so safe option, and then also especially for development and production environment where security is a priority. And Podman CLE is designed to be 100% compatible with Docker. So which means if you know Docker, you already know Podman. So in place of a Docker run, you can do Podman run. And then third is it integrates seamlessly with Containerd. So it's a powerful container runtime which is used in production environment, including in Kubernetes. So unlike Docker, there is no need to keep a constantly running background service. So this reduces the overhead and simplifies the resource management finally. So let's dive deeper to configure Podman and Kind to work together for a local Kubernetes setup. So for this tutorial, we will be using Podman instead of Docker. So you can just go to the Podman website and you can find the compatible system reinstall if you are using Mac. Or so if you see, so you can find for Mac OS, you can just try to use the DMG file to install Podman desktop in your local machine. Podman is an IT tool for managing containers without needing a daemon like Docker. So it's rootless by design, enhancing the security. So basically, if you see the Podman, which is the pod manager, is an open source container management tool which is developed by Red Hat, and it allows you to find, run, build, and share containers seamlessly. So unlike Docker, Podman operates in a daemonless manner, and meaning it doesn't require a background service to manage the containers. So this design enhances the security and provides a more straightforward approach to container management. So additionally, Podman offers a command line interface which is familiar to Docker user, making a transition smooth. For example, if you see Docker build, you do a Podman build instead. So we will be using Kind, which is short for Kubernetes in Docker for this project. So it's an open source tool that enables you to run Kubernetes cluster locally using Docker container as nodes. So it's particularly useful for testing and developing purpose, allowing the developer to create multi-node clusters on their local machine without an overhead of setting up a full scale Kubernetes environment. So Kind supports building Kubernetes release builds from source, and it's compatible with Linux, Mac OS, also CNCF certified Conformant Kubernetes installer. So this is the Podman disk tab we have already installed in our local machine. So once we just install a Podman disk tab, we have to initialize and start the Podman machine. For to do Podman initialization, we have to do Podman machine init. So Podman requires a virtual machine to run the containers on Mac OS and Windows. So on Linux, using a VM is optional. So here's how we can initialize and start the Podman machine. For example, let me open the terminal. So from here you can do Podman machine init. So we have already did it so that our machine is running currently right now. Once we do that, and we have to do Podman machine start like this. So if you see, it says just unable to start because it's already running. Okay, so you have to do these two commands to run your Podman. Just let me give you a walkthrough on how Podman desktop is. Here you can see the list of containers, and from here you can see the ports which are running. We haven't started any ports, so it's like empty right now, and we can see the set of images. So then we do have the persistent values. So once you're done with it, we have to install kind. So kind is like, as I said, it's Kubernetes and Docker, so which allows you to run the local Kubernetes cluster using Kubernetes nodes. See, even we do have like Minikube. It's your choice to use Minikube or like kind. So in this tutorial, we'll be using kind. So let me create a new cluster here. Keep other parameters default. Let me do create. Yes, as we have already created the cluster, if you see, like it's in our current context, it's active. So we can't able to create the cluster with the same name. So let me create, for just to walk you through, let me create a test cluster from here, and I will do a cleaning after the creation. Yes. So now if you see, this is the one that I have created earlier, and this is the one that we have just created. So let me just try to stop this and delete it. Okay. So we will be keeping just on unified cluster here. Let me do start. So it's running right now. So make sure that all these configurations are ready to like run your project. So for developer who need to like run Kubernetes locally and reproduce an environment close to like production for development and experimentation purpose, Podman desktop allows the user to like easily set up the environment on a local machine. So there are like two distinct extensions which are providing the capability to like configure Kubernetes cluster locally, as we saw like in the extension panel earlier. So you can use either kind or Minikube. So if you are like just familiar with kind is an open source project that allows to run Kubernetes clusters in a container engine. It could be Docker or Podman or others. So this is usually like quite helpful for like development and testing purpose, as you can run Kubernetes locally in a lightweight fashion. And also similarly, the Minikube extension allows running Kubernetes in containers as well. So both solutions are completely viable. So to interact with your clusters, there are like actually two different ways you can do that. You can use either like kubectl command. So if you have installed and configured on your local workstation, otherwise you use the integrated terminal provided in Podman desktop, which is accessible from the kind or like Minikube cluster control panel. And I have provided the link to the documentation for kind and Minikube in the description below. So in this tutorial, we just saw setting up a Podman or Docker and Kubernetes with kind. And basically, we just created the kind cluster, which is Kubernetes and Docker cluster, and configuring the Kubernetes environment, and also verifying the cluster setup. So in the next session, we'll be seeing building the machine learning model and API for to like call this model to get the prediction. So let's see you there.